back. It's another week. Breaking down security right here. So, me, Brian Brake, Ms. Berlin. Hello.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey. Mr. Betcher's in, I don't know.
He's still gone somewhere.
I know. If his schedule his wife gave him is correct, he is somewhere in Oregon. If they didn't fly home already. But last weekend they were in Oregon. So I don't know where he's at right now, but hopefully he'll be downloading this and listening and, hoping he's having fun.
Making the whole family listen to it in the car.
Oh, God, I hope so. Hey, Mrs. Betcher. Hey.
Hi, everyone.
I met Mrs. Betcher. She exists. Other than,
yes.
Yeah. She was like, it's so nice to meet you when you're not on the webcam. And I was like, because that's the only way we've ever met. So, yeah. So, are you jet lagging? Because I know you're tired, but you must be jet lagging, right?
I'm actually not really jet lagged. I did a really good job. So Switzerland is 6 hours ahead.
Right.
I did a very good job of just staying up until like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then sleeping for a couple hours, and then repeating.
Yeah.
So I didn't really get jet lagged.
Did you fly business class or was it coach?
It was the middle one.
The middle one. Oh, like economy
Delta,
plus?
so it was like economy plus kind of.
Yeah, I always have to fly at least economy plus because us leggy brunettes
Yeah, but I'm like 5'3", so.
Okay, you can't.
I can sit anywhere.
You can't understand. You don't understand the sliggy brunettes. Okay. Well,
No.
Well, that's good. So you gave a talk at Area 41 then. How was it?
It was absolutely amazing. They did a really, really good job with the conference.
Yeah.
All of the content was pretty spot on.
Nice.
They had it in it's called the Extra Hotel. It was like this nightclub / hotel in downtown Zurich.
Okay.
And food was good. I learned a lot. And just the people were really cool. I tacked on a couple days for myself to do some touristy stuff.
Yeah.
And that was pretty amazing.
Did you do the zip line you were talking about on Facebook?
No.
Damn it.
So I went on this 12-hour tour, and it was like an hour and a half to get to Interlaken.
Right.
And if there's any Swiss Germans out there, I'm always saying these wrong, so I'm not even gonna try.
Right.
So Interlaken is like a town up in the mountains, and then we stayed there for a little bit, and then some people got off the bus and did their tour. I was the only one that did my tour.
Right.
Out of 100 people on this double-decker bus.
Okay.
And then we did another half an hour up to Grindelwald. Mm-hmm. And that was almost at the top of the mountain, and that's where everybody got off. And I kind of went and did my own thing. It was like the top mountain adventure tour or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it was a cable car that lasted about 30 minutes.
Really?
Up to the tippy top of the one mountain.
So is a funicular up to the top?
A what?
Funicular. It's a cable car. Okay, it's a cable car.
Okay, yeah, all right. No, I don't know. It was a cable car.
Okay.
And so it went through a couple stops, and then I went to the top, and the zip line was closed because it was too cloudy.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I was sad about that. They had another one that you could lay down and soar. Uh-huh. But I really, really wanted to eat at that point and didn't want to wait in line. So wait, getting down the mountain.
They let you take this 30-minute trip up to the top of the mountain and then tell you finally that it was closed.
They told us at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
They did. But I was hoping it would be open by the time I got up there.
Right.
But there was also this cliff walk thing that went around the top of the one peak.
Oh, very
that was
cool.
Pretty cool. And then down, I took it was like an adult 3-wheeler big wheel thing that I took down from the top to the middle.
Right. Okay.
And it went very fast, and it was a lot of fun. And then from there, it was like a scooter. Mm-hmm. Okay. Not like a powered scooter or anything, because it's all downhill.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a whole lot of fun, and just gorgeous views and clear air. It was pretty great.
Right on.
everything's super expensive. It's like 10 times as expensive as everywhere else I've ever been.
Did you tell people you were actually Canadian instead of an American?
We tried that for a little bit.
Oh, it didn't work. Huh?
I have a guy I met actually when I was at ShowMeCon that works for TLS, and he lives in Baltimore, and we were very regularly trying to pull it off that we were a Canadian.
What gave you away? You just weren't nice enough, or?
I couldn't lie.
Oh. So where are you from? Ohio?
Ohio, Canada.
Oh,
they wouldn't know.
It's the other province. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, we're annexing. Cool. All right. Well, that was awesome. So, wow. So Area 41, it's a yearly thing, yeah?
Every other year.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, it's the Switzerland's DEF CON group that puts it on.
Wow, all right. Well, I'd like to let the Area 41 people know that I am also available for speaking engagements.
Yes, definitely.
I don't mind, if you have a speaking slot for me, I don't mind coming to...
Let me put you in touch with them. They're fantastic people.
Don't mind coming to Switzerland again.
Well, you go to DEF CON?
I'd love to go to DEF CON, but I can't bring myself to join the crowds like that yet. So,
well, two of the people that were there will be there.
Oh, right on. Okay. All right. So before we get to our topic, book club, Dave Sybuck, who is running our summer book club, and we're meeting on the fourth Tuesday of every month. What?
It's not a funicular is like a tram on a railway.
I was just wondering. I've taken a funicular before, so
I took one of those when I was in New Zealand.
Okay.
I did not know that's what it was called.
Yep. And today I learned.
Yeah.
Yeah, better put that in the show notes just in case people want to know
what a funicular is.
Funicular is, yeah. All right. So, book club, I think we're reading American Kingpin. It's actually going on right now, I believe. So they're doing the planning and everything for it. So if you're interested in, hanging out and reading a book with the summer club, so we're going to meet once a month on the fourth Tuesday of every month. So like the 26th of June, it'll be the 24th of July and the 28th of August. And the 25th of September. So we'll have those dates available for you somewhere. Or you can just join our Slack and get involved with the schedule there. So, and we'll give you information on how to get to Slack later on. So, all right. So their topic this week, is, so I was at work. I work at a place that does client engagements now. And, we have clients that... we often have findings, and I'm not going to name names because, I'm not supposed to. I could get in trouble. I'm a noob there. So some of the findings, people ask us, what's the criticality of those findings? Why should we worry about those? Or, and in our reports, we talk about the criticality of those findings, but they still want to hem and haw and, talk back and forth about those things. So, some findings that we've had in recent weeks have dealt with SSL and TLS vulnerabilities, and some of the findings we found is that either they're not implementing SSL properly, they're actually using SSL instead of TLS, and or what's worse is they're using like a version of TLS with a really, really awful cipher suite.
Did they want proof of concepts when they're having and hauling back and forth?
Some have
everything.
Some have asked for that, and it's like, well, showing the beast attack or showing, Suite 32 or those that are, various encryption based vulnerabilities. The idea is that they're out there. And it's really easy to fix it. It's a configuration issue. It's not like you need to make major patches in your applications or do whatever. You just need to make sure that your TLS or SSL implementation doesn't accept these ciphers, specifically RC4 or, when you're dealing with the hashing, the HMAC part of the TLS cipher, you don't want to use something that's really, really awful, like, MD5 or something weird like that. So, for those of you out there who are in my boat and have to explain what a TLS cipher handshake is, we were going to run through some of that today. We had some stuff from OWASP that in our links there, some slides to interesting discussion there. The slides go up to TLS 1.3 draft 13, which I saw today. They're actually up to like draft 21, 2022. So the idea is that you want to have a secure conversation with your client and your server over an insecure medium. And that's what TLS allows for. It covers all of the triad, the CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, authentication. There's various ways of doing it. With confidentiality, you want your conversations to be encrypted. You don't want anybody to be able to listen in on that. Your integrity, you want to be able to make sure that the server you're getting your data from is actually the server in question. And, you want to prevent any kind of attacks from like man in the middle or something like that. And also, integrity deals with message tampering. So you want to make sure that, nobody has messed with the message en route. So that goes back to man in the middle. But there's other things you can do with man in the middle attacks and just message tampering. So you can do authentication deals with impersonation attacks, and the client's needing to, make sure that, well, I guess authentication is actually talking to the intended server. So, TLS solves a lot of problems. I mean, Ms. Berlin, you must have clients that run into these kinds of SSL issues when they're doing vulnerability scans, right?
All the time.
Okay, so what do they do about it? I mean, and
nothing.
Why don't they? Why don't they?
I don't know. It's been a long time since I've managed a web server.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it. Really, I mean, I know it's not that difficult to change a lot of it. Right. I don't know if it's just a lack of time or an unsureness that it's not going to break something.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these have to do with backward compatibility on browsers, right?
Yeah. I mean, okay. So the thing is, TLS 1.2 has been working on like Chrome 30 and Internet Explorer 11, which are old. And at least a couple of years old that have been out, and all of the new ciphers.
But I still bet you there's still a lot of people out there in XP and stuff like that they're just chugging along.
Okay, all right. So, all right, let's say they're on XP, and you have this finding, and you're like, oh, we can't do X because our customers still connect to us over Windows XP. There must be ways around that. They could use a more modern browser, for instance. They're not stuck using Internet Explorer.
Right.
You could use Chrome. You can use Firefox. I think there's still an XP version of Chrome. Chrome.
I really think a lot of times they might just be worried that if they do that, there might be a lot of backlash from the customers because, they don't want to be supporting their customers by installing other browsers and telling them all that kind of stuff. It's
right.
just easier to accept the risk.
Yeah,
especially depending on what's on the web server.
Right. Well, I can understand the business deal of, well, we don't want to stop users from being able to access anything, but I think that goes back to you're not monitoring your web logs, and if you did, you probably could do some kind of reporting or metrics to find out how many Windows XP users you have, or how many.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. They're using IE6 over here still. Yeah,
if a customer cared enough, they would be monitoring and collecting that data, because it's not difficult to fingerprint a browser that's connecting.
Right. And my thing is they're pushing back on us for having these findings, but then they don't want to push back on their monitoring team and say, okay, how many people are actually using the browser that's using Windows XP? Oh, well, let's see. In the last 3 months, we've had 2. Well, how many users do we have to the website? Oh, a couple of 100,000. 2 people out of 100,000 are not going to be able to visit your site anymore.
Right.
2. Now, unless they make up 98% of your sales, I would say probably get rid of them. Get rid of it.
I don't think a lot of people take in that data.
It's hard to push back like that, though. I mean, it's hard to put that onus back on.
I just don't get why people pay us to tell them what to do and then fight.
Yeah. And, it's one of those things where, you used to think that the consultant was an agent of change. And, if the IT guys really wanted to get something done, the consultant or the third-party pen tester that's coming in is going to help you save the day. But I've seen it more and more. It's like where companies are like, you know what, we're not the problem. It's the pen tester. If you weren't testing this stuff, and we're like, they're being forced to, so they don't like doing it in the first place. So they push back on the people that find the ugly bits in their network. So, anywho, so one of the other last things is maybe it's the problem of the application itself, but there are ways around it. I mean, putting in load balancers that can intercept your SSL connection. If you have an old version of whatever, Java comes to mind, still having nightmares of that, you can put a load balancer in, or you can put something in the front of it that will, keep a high connection and downgrade gracefully inside your own enclave, and then you don't have to worry about that.
And I think that doing that is a matter of talent, time, and money.
Right. Well,
those are the three things.
If you're in the cloud, an elastic load balancer in the cloud, I'm using quotey fingers. So, if you're in the cloud, you should already have load balancers set up on your Amazon or Azure instances. They don't call them elastic load balancers in Azure or Google, but if you're using Amazon, then they have ELBs that you can use.
Yeah.
Because they're already doing it transparently. You just don't know it if you're realize it. So.
I like the so in the show notes we have the OWASP version of the slideshow on TLS 1.3.
Yep.
And I really like the fact that they list out everything that's been removed in 1.3.
Right.
And the next slide is like, when that's removed, it's got like a good 2-3 dozen things that it actually mitigates after removing those handful of things.
Yep. One of them is in the TLS. So when you look at cipher families, or you look at the cipher suites that are used, sometimes you'll see TLS _DHE _RSA _AES 256 GCM _ SHA 256. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was what all those things mean. And and that's when I found this OWASP.org link, which you can find there, the OWASP final.pdf. But so the first bit is DHE in this case is the key exchange. So there's really only two. There's RSA, or there's Diffie-Hellman ephemeral. Diffie-Hellman ephemeral in this case allows for perfect forward secrecy. In TLS 1.3, it's perfect forward secrecy is the session keys when you connect to a server won't be compromised even if the server keys were ever popped. So that means your past messages and data can't be retrieved or decrypted. With TLS 1.3, you really only have one key exchange use, which is the Diffie-Hellman stuff. They got rid of the RSA for key exchange. Encryption algorithms, RC4, Triple Des, and Camellia are all been removed, which is interesting. So 1.3, they tried to simplify it. I think if you look down in the slides, they mentioned that TLS 1.2 has... Let me see. It said like 160 something different cipher suites. Yeah. And now they have like 5 for possibilities in TLS 1.3. But they still allowed for backward compatibility in case you are still using TLS 1.1 or 1.2, which is very helpful. Yeah,
1.2 with previous versions was 319
Yeah.
And then 1.3 now has 5.
Yep. Cipher, only 5. And one of them is this new cha-cha poly, which is an interesting... I don't even know how, cha-cha became a thing. But, of course, they have, they have all kinds of different kinds of... they have blowfish and all kinds of different encryption ciphers and stuff. But, yeah, I mean... The problem with 1.2 was that there were so many cipher suites that were just loaded by default. And, it's hard to delete all of those. And one of the things that we suggest using when you're working on that is your, there's different things we use to do scanning. So I use testssl.sh, which is a website that has a batch script you can run on your boxes, and it'll tell you what your configuration looks like and how secure you are. Some people use the Qualys thing online. I don't like it because it's Qualys. They're never going to be a sponsor of the show anyway. So they give you a grade, which I know that CISOs like and CEOs like, and sometimes they'll bookmark it just to poke around on it. But another good thing is the SSL configuration generator. 5.0's rolling hot, man. 5.0's rolling hot. Mark your bingo cards, kids.
Yep. No train yet, but yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fine. No, so Mozilla has the SSL configuration generator, which is really cool. It's on GitHub, and it'll allow you to figure out the most secure method of generating your SSL keys. So if you're using an Nginx server and you want to be modern, and your server version and your OpenSSL version is available, and you want to enable HSTS, it gives you the exact Nginx configuration to be as secure as possible, which is very cool. It's highly recommended if you're, the blue team folks setting up the new server, and especially if you set it up right the first time, then you don't necessarily have to worry about it. So there's even an AWS ELB configuration if you are interested in, supporting all modern browsers, which in this case is Firefox 27, Chrome 30, IE11 on Windows 7, Edge, Opera 17, Safari, Android 5, and Java 8. So all of those are fairly old browsers. Safari 9, Firefox 27, Chrome is like on build 55 now, I think. So this is a really great tool if you're, setting up web server for somebody and you want to find the best way of, securing that stuff. So
I wonder what I'm on.
What do you mean? What are you on?
What browser version?
Oh. I don't know.
I didn't realize it was all the way up past 30 already.
Yeah. I
never pay attention to the version numbers.
Firefox I'm using right now is 60.02, 64-bit. So, the modern SSL configuration generator and using the most up-to-date, AWS ELB more than easy runs that.
Cow, yeah, I'm on version 67.
Yep. So even,
Damn.
all of them, modern 27, whatever. I think it only starts mattering if you are on version 1.1 of, 1.1e of OpenSSL. And then, that does cause issues at that point. So, no, still Chrome 30, Firefox 27. So, yeah, pretty much, yeah. So regarding SSL certs, how many times have you ever seen anyone not self-sign certs? You mean for an externally facing web server using self-sign?
Internally.
Okay. All right. So
everywhere I've ever been has been oh, you shouldn't do this because you shouldn't self-sign your certs. You should actually have internal certificate authority. Right. I've never seen anybody that's done it.
See, the problem is setting up your own internal self-signing certificate authority is a pain in the ass. I know it's a pain in the ass.
Yes.
And it's not worth the effort, I don't think.
Okay.
No, don't say okay like I'm the guy who knows things. God. Look, best practice, yes, you should have a CA, but only if you're doing
I usually list it as a low priority.
Right.
Because honestly, if someone's already inside your network, they're not going to be attacking self-sign cert SSL sites.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to get on that box a way easier way.
Yeah, they're going to impersonate something else, or they're just going to, fish the hell out of somebody and gain access.
And really, it just if it's something that all of your users are seeing, I think it should be signed. Mm-hmm. Because then you're just training them that it doesn't matter.
Right.
That's the only thing that I can see it being a big deal is you're training like the regular end user that it says accept the security risk, keep going, so they can't tell the difference between internal and external sometimes.
I guess that's the point. Yeah. Now, if your app stack inside, once you go past the web app and you're down inside, in the database layer or whatever, and you're using some kind of API or something to reach back into the the database or something with an API, you probably should have a cert on that.
Yeah,
if that's production, you probably should be doing it there. But like on a test environment, I can't, I see that and it's like, oh, you should have a CA cert, on your test environment. I'm like, really? That server's not going to be there tomorrow. You're just wasting your time generating a cert that would last longer than the cert. Server's going to,
I mean, they have wildcard certs that you can get. Like if you actually have an actual TLD and not a .local internally, that you could just use a wildcard cert on.
Right. I'm creating internal CA. See how much a pain in the ass it is here.
I looked into it once. It didn't look fun.
Really? Yeah. Because I know it's hard enough to create.
That was on like .local.
Right.
So it wasn't easy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it may be
worry about like taking stores offline for security purposes and a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't really care to do.
Yeah, it may be easy enough with Let's Encrypt to create like a master cert nowadays. It may be a little easier now, but I mean, if you're going to go to the lengths of getting computer associates or somebody to hook you up with a proper cert, then that makes sense, I guess. The other thing is you get into that whole PKI stuff, which I don't even want to touch. It's ugly. PKI or SMIME, all that stuff for email, here's an article from spiceworks.com setting up an internal cert CA, Obviously I'm going to read to the bottom of this and like, oh, we can help you if you just, whatever. So, yeah. Anyway, so we have more here, but I think we've made the point that, just because that is a finding, you should be doing what's necessary to reach back to your customers and maybe help them understand why they should use a better browser if they're stuck on, Windows XP, or, you need to sometimes help your customers by setting them up with proper load balancing profiles, or, find out or gather the metrics needed to find out if that stuff is even useful. I mean, if you're just dodging the question because you don't want to do the additional work, why'd you ask for pen tests in the first place? Mm-hmm. So, because you knew it was going to happen. You knew they were going to find it. So, yeah. How many companies have you ever seen that, have you ever come back to a company after you've given them that answer and then they've actually fixed it?
No.
So I wonder what the level of effort is for that. I've been thinking a lot on things like level of effort, being a PM now because I'm no longer a tech person.
You're still a tech person.
Am I?
You are. You have the podcast, I mean.
That doesn't say much. Wow, that's hurtful. That's hurtful.
We can both be charlatans together.
Okay, good. Excellent. Because, I'm the one who has to brief people on these things. So I have to put on a happy face. Hey, we completely owned you up left and right. Hey, and it's like, if you'd have just done X, and then they go, well, we can't really do X because we have this one customer and they do, XP. And yeah. Well, anyway, I better shut up before I say more. So, so what else do you want to talk about? We got a little time.
Oh, I don't know.
What's some of the interesting things you've seen at work in the last couple of months? That you want to talk about?
That I can talk about?
No, I'm sorry. I actually do have something. We released your Disrupting the Kill Chains videos today
we did.
on YouTube. 5 hours of training. So
yeah, and I kind of want to take that and redo it in like, I don't, whatever the latest server OS is.
Right.
The 2016.
Oh, Windows. Server 2016. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean my lab was in 2008 R2. So.
Okay.
And then I also kind of want to, because I've been doing the MITRE attack framework in a Kanban tool, and I want to kind of tie. I've been writing as many SIM alerts as I can to tie into the MITRE attack framework.
Okay. What kind of SIM alerts are they? Just generic ones, or are they like for Splunk?
Yeah, I haven't written the alerts yet because we're doing this new service thing at work that it's going to get built into. I'm just kind of writing descriptions and what they should look like.
Oh, cool.
And tying them back to all the different attacks at the different levels of the different. The different things.
Cool.
So.
All right. So, yeah, that's out there. It's already obsolete, apparently, because Ms. Berlin says it is.
That's how it works.
It's only been a couple of months since you did that. But,
I know.
Yeah. So, I was playing around with Pico CTF last weekend, and, I don't know what it is about Wireshark, but every time I install it, it's like it's the first time I've ever seen it. The UI's changed, and there's so many new options. It's like, oh, yeah, now you can take PCAPs and create firewall ACLs.
Yes.
And I was like,
it used to be a plugin that you had to get.
Really?
Yeah. And I think now it just comes standard.
That's so much better.
It's amazing.
I know. I don't know if the syntax is solid, but they had ones you could generate Cisco ACLs. You could do PF, which is OpenBSD or PFSense.
Do snort rules.
They do snort rules. Yeah. I was like, this is awesome. Where was this 5 years ago when I was trying to break stuff? So, yeah. And it had like options like, do you want to block all of these things or allow all these things, or if you just want to, modify them accordingly. So I was like, wow, that's fairly awesome. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there with massive PCAPs that were like, having to make those manually. So that's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. Plus, I guess
I remember having to make them manually. It wasn't very fun.
But I guess if you've got a malicious PCAP, that makes it easier for you to generate the naughty things that you can then deploy a lot quicker. So, because it'll generate them for you. So,
right.
All right. Well, I feel like I'm missing my leg with Betcher gone. Mr. Betcher's, he's kind of my right leg here. So
I can't. As I say, I can't talk in that tone. Otherwise, I'd pretend.
What? You miss Mr. Betcher or what?
Yeah, no, yeah, I was going to pretend to be him, but I don't do very good with impressions.
No, that's okay. I don't do well with... Betcher's one of the guys I can't get. His voice is just too unmistakable, so... By the way, I don't tell this story. Actually, I don't tell this story often at all, but the first time I met him, he interviewed me for the job at the place where we were both working, and... the first thing I thought of when I saw him was he reminded me of Alton Brown, he's one of my man crushes. You don't know who Alton Brown? Oh my God, no. You don't know
Alton, like ALTON or Elton?
Alton Brown. Oh,
I'm really bad with like. Oh, okay, yeah, I know who that is.
Do you? You just said that.
The Iron Chef guy.
Yeah, he's on Iron Chef. He's Good Eats. Yeah, I watch Good Eats a lot. So, but yeah,
I don't do well with names of celebrity. Well, I don't do well with names, no matter who you are. But,
right.
Celebrities, I'm pretty bad at as well.
Yeah, his mannerisms and the way he was looking at the time, I was like, oh, that guy reminds me of Alton Brown. Okay. So yeah, it was kind of interesting. People are gonna. I may have just started another meme or whatever online, so on our Slack. I mean, people love them some memes on there. So, all right, well, let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's finish it up. So, Ms. Berlin, you came back from Zurich, Switzerland, from Area 41. If people wanted to reach out to you for more keynotes, or maybe you're doing some keynotes in the future, where would people get a hold of you and do that?
I'm doing 3 more keynotes this year so far.
Really?
Next one is B-Sides Cleveland this next weekend.
All right.
So if you're in Cleveland, I know Scott. I think Scott will be in Cleveland. I don't know.
Mr. Scott Pack. Yeah, he's a good dude. He's one of our moderators on our Slack channel.
Right. So there, you can come see me.
Right.
Or Twitter at InfoSystir, INFOSYSTIR.
Right on.
Or our fabulous Slack channel.
Fantastic. Mr. Betcher is the co-host of 2 podcasts, the Breaking Down Incident Response podcast with Michael Goff. Mr. Betcher is also the right leg on this show, and you can find him on Twitter at BetcherPwned, BOETTCHERPWNED. He's also on our Slack. Actually, he was on our Slack today, which I was like, oh, good. I'm glad he's still alive. So, he mentioned... he said hey to one of our newest moderators. So, speaking of our newest moderator, Ms. Megan Roddy. Miss Megan Roddy. Anyway, we promoted her to moderator because she's just an awesome person. So she's going to be speaking at Deep East Texas Security, which I just spoke at a couple weeks ago. Really awesome group of folks, but she's going to be doing some neurodiversity discussion there, like she did on our show. So that show went really well. So if you're interested in hearing about neurodiversity and understanding a little better how people who might be on the spectrum work, feel free to listen to that show. So,
and you're speaking somewhere else too, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
I think you're keynoting somewhere.
No, I'm not. I don't know if it's a keynote. It's just I'm giving the first talk of the day.
Totes.
Okay. I'll be speaking at B-Sides Springfield, Missouri. This is one of my hometowns where I used to live. My mama's going to hear me speak, so if you come to B-Sides Springfield, it is sold out, unfortunately. But
as soon as they announce the keynote. I hear.
No, definitely not because of me. Look. By the way.
Oh, Brian just flipped his table. He's out.
I'm done. I quit this. Yeah. No, I'll be speaking there. I'll be building my community talk about building community, about how we've built the Slack and CSEC East up here in Seattle and the podcast and such. So, it'll be a nice 50-minute talk, but we're going to have, we're going to be hanging out and having a good time with me and my mama. So you can come and meet Mama Break. So yeah, there you go.
And come find us at all these conferences because we have stickers now.
Oh, we got swag. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. We got our new logo.
And we have special stuff at DerbyCon that I'm super excited about.
Yep. And we're going to try to work on maybe having I want to say we're going to have a store, but I don't want to say that. But maybe if you want to have a t-shirt or something, maybe in the future, they'll be available. So. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so if you want to join the Slack, DM us on Twitter at BrakeSec. I've added Ms. Berlin and Mr. Betcher and all of the moderators, David, who does a fine job with the book club and the resume reviews, and Mr. Scott Pack, who's an awesome gentleman as well. So they will hook you up with an invite if you want to join us on our Slack. So bds.podcast at gmail.com for that. So thank you to our Patreon people. You're actually instrumental in helping us get our stickers. So if you're a Patreon user and you see us at a conference, please let us know and we'll give you a sticker. And we can definitely give you one. I'd love to mail them to you, but I think they cost more to actually mail than they did cost to make. So it'd be like $5 to send a $1 sticker. So
no, just find us.
Yeah, just find us.
I go to enough conferences. If you can't find me, then sorry.
We'll figure something out. So, but thank you for your patronage, and we appreciate you for giving. So that's it for Breaking Down Security. That we'll have Mr. Betcher back next week. He'll be at full strength. And so have a great week. Please be nice to one another. I know that's getting harder in this day and age. So please try to be nice to one another, and we will talk to you again real soon.
Bye.
And we're done. Oh my goodness.
Woohoo.
Okay. Yay.
Yay.
Alton Brown. Yeah, he's my man. He's on my short list.
That's funny.
My wife said, yeah, it'd be okay. So
Yeah.
I actually saw him in concert. He did like a touring music show.
Do you know that? What's his name? Oh man, now I forget. He's an actor that I didn't know he was a country music singer, and he was like playing in Zurich at the club that we were at.
David Hasselhoff. No, that's German.
No, but
That's
it was
German.
just as surprising. Hold on, give me a second.
Because Germans love David Hasselhoff.
I have to find this.
What show was he on? If you could tell me the show, I could probably match
24?
it up. 24? Oh, was he on? Oh, no, not that guy. Kiefer Sutherland?
Yeah. Yes.
Shut the front door. Kiefer Sutherland was at the club?
Kiefer Sutherland.
No.
And he wasn't there when we were there. It was like the day before.
Right.
And he sings country rock music.
Shut the front door. Well, he's probably feeling real bad because his show on ABC got canceled. So
yeah,
designated survivor.
I thought like the people there just like had the wrong American name.
Oh, I see.
I'm like, oh, okay, sure, it's totally Kiefer Sutherland.
Right,
like
right.
you mean like Toby Keith or
yeah.
something like that. And then I like went to the bathroom and saw like the poster in the stall. It's like, holy shit, it's Kiefer Sutherland.
Wow. Yeah, I know. Like Kevin Costner has a band and stuff too. My mom
and the
used to
dude
see
from NCIS.
NCIS. Mark Harmon.
Yeah.
He's got a band too, huh? Wow.
I think so.
Okay. Interesting. I did not know that. So Kiefer Sutherland. Wow.
I guess.
I have to let my wife know that. So, all right. Well, we'll be back next week. So, Mr. Betcher will be here. So hopefully we'll have some stuff to talk about.
I should be getting a legitimate job offer here soon.
Really, from the other joint?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
We'll find out when I get it.
All right. Right.
I think they're actually mailing it to me, which I find odd.
What?
But they're lawyers, so.
Okay. Make sure you can
like
still do the show and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Make sure that's...
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, you have a good night then, and go get some sleep.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's what I need.
All right. Good night.
All right. Bye.
Later.